Good morning and welcome back. It's day 2 of the Project Z. Yesterday we got a lot taken care of. We got the Z in, we got the stuff taken off, we got it prepped, ready, we got the coilovers up and on, and now today is the day that we're going to be doing the final suspension stuff. Sorry, it is like already really hot. It's like, I don't know, 9 o'clock in the morning and it's like 85 degrees out. So before we get the sun coming over here and torturing us in the back, we're gonna get started on the rear. Yesterday I was talking about removing the spring buckets and then, you know, changing the arms, the traction arms and that type of stuff. We also need to cut this for the new rotors, the Brembo big brake kit. The rotors will actually hit this, so we actually have to just cut this lip off, not a big deal. And then we're gonna be able to put all the stuff on the rear as far as the suspension arms goes, and then we're gonna get to the angle kit. So let's get started. Okay, come over here to the pile of parts. We have, oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Hold on a minute, before we get started, you can see right here it says Z33 bracket. These are rear brackets for dual calipers. That's another thing. I didn't tell you guys what we're doing. I am putting a hydro in here. You guys know this will be a drift car, but I also have stuff for dual caliper rear from GKTECH. I'm super stoked on it. I've never ran a dual caliper before. And if you guys remember, I have this bitchin' sicky handle that they put the Crooked Crown logo on for me. So this car is gonna be so sick, so set up, but we're gonna get to this in a little bit. We need to grab the arms. I have toe arms, I have my traction arms, and camber arms. So we'll put this in the rear, and then we're gonna start getting started putting that stuff on. You guys check these out, they're so nice. Instructions, mad stickers, and then we have these adjustable Heim joints, has the little boots to cover. So all of them will look the exact same. It's just the length of them and where they go. So I think the traction arms may be a little bit different. Nope, they all look pretty much the same. So, but we have it for the rear, so this whole rear is gonna be dialed in. First things first, these are the toe arms. These are actually the ones that are gonna replace the spring buckets. So we'll pull these out first. One thing I like to do with these is I'll pull the spring bucket off and then I will kind of measure from hole to hole on there and try and set this as close as possible. After doing anything suspension, you will need to get an alignment, but we're doing everything on here suspension, so we'll just get alignment after everything's put on. But I do try to get it as close as possible so the car is, you know, somewhat drivable if I have to drive it to the alignment shop, or if I can't get it, you know, that close, we'll put it on a trailer and send it. But try and get it as close as possible. So I'm gonna take off the spring buckets now, and then we're gonna install these, like I said, and get it as close as possible. All right, I got my 19s. One thing I wanna point out, if you guys look on here, you can see there is a cammed bolt. Kind of be careful on where this is positioned, because that's how, when you do the alignment, as this rotates and it pushes, this spring bucket will actually move in and out. So if you want to try and keep your factory alignment while adding these arms, I also pay attention to these. So we know that this is pointed towards the driver's side. I'm going to try and keep it there. We're going to knock this 19 bolt off, we'll pull this off, and then we'll pull this 19 off, and the spring bucket should come loose. So we're going to take care of those. You can see this one is different. That one's pointing straight up, so we just have to make sure we keep the same orientation, and then it should be good to go, or as close as good to go as possible. Okay, so you can see spring buckets are out. We're gonna do this for each individual one. We will be taking off all 3 of the arms in the back and doing it, but first I wanna set, you guys can see how much farther back this one is than this one. It would give us quite a bit of, I wanna say toe out, if I'm not mistaken. So I line up the holes here the best that I can, and then I'll use these to twist and move it out, so that way these will actually line up over, and then I'll know that the length is about the same. I'll do the same for both sides and then reinstall them. Okay, arms set up. Now you can see these holes line up over top of each other, and these are about the same. I'm gonna double check, verify with a tape measure. I'll go from center line to center line, and then I'll do the top and make sure that it's really close. Might have to adjust 1 or 2 threads, but that should be about what it is. So now this one will be ready for install. It doesn't matter the sides, they're both the same. So we're gonna put one side in and we'll put the other side in after I do the same with the other one, and then the toe arms are essentially gonna be done. Okay, a little tip for you. After using the tape measure, I measured from center line to center line of the holes, and it's 17.5 inches exactly. So I set this one at 17.5 inches exactly, and this should get you really damn close to the factory setting. I'm gonna do the same for the other one. I'm gonna double check and measure this bucket. It shouldn't be any different, but I'm gonna put that one at 17.5, and then we're gonna put these in. All right, 17.5 inches on both sides. Okay, so now you can see we kept the same orientation on each of them. They look really good too. I can't wait to get the other arms in, the traction arm and the camber arm, so that way they all match. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna pull the traction arms out, the camber arms out, and then we're gonna measure them, and we're gonna do the same, set it to about what it is, and then reinstall. All right, now you can see I got all 3 arms in, locked, ready to go. One thing I wanted to show you guys here, you can see that I notched the frame here a little bit. This is a big pain in the ass to get this thing out, and I have it notched. You don't have to do that. You can take this off, move this out of the way, and kind of finagle it out. I did this for track purposes. If an arm gets bent or something, we can change it really quick, and so that's the reason why I did that. You don't have to do that. I'm just showing you that that's what I did, because I will be taking this to the track every week and, you know, really beating on it. So, but we have the camber, the traction arm, and the toe arm in, as well as a coilover. I do need to cut this, and I'm gonna take this axle out. You can see it's like pretty whooped. It's ugly. I have new ones that I'm gonna be putting in also. So I'm gonna do that so this side's finished, and then we're gonna head over to the other side and get, or take care of the rest of the arms, and then the back should be done. All right, both sides are on. When you look under the car, you can see everything now is fully adjustable, ready to go. So next thing I want to do is I'm going to cut these like I've been talking about, and then we're going to put the rear brakes on, so that way the rears are literally done, and then we can move to the front. I want to get to the angle kit today and be able to start setting this up. So we got a lot to do, so let's get to it. All right, so I cut the backing plate. You can see there's no more lip. Don't judge me, okay? Yeah, it's terrible. I tried cutting as smooth around as I could, but I mean, these shears don't make it that easy. So now that we have that, now we can change the brakes. Okay, and now they are all changed. Everything looks good. We got the new braided line on, the new pads. Look at that. The rear end of this thing has really changed. New brakes, new arms, new coilovers. So now we need to come over here and do the same. All right, and the last side on. So now it's time to go to the front. So I've been laying out everything for the GKTECH kit. You can see the lower control arm. Here is the outer tie rod. This is the inner tie rod we'll be installing. I also have the spacer kit. If you buy the spacer kit, it comes with 1 spacer. So for this car being a left-hand drive car, it does matter if it's right-hand drive. Left-hand drive car, you will put the big spacer on the passenger side of the rack. And then there is a little spacer, just a slip spacer, that will be on the driver's side of the rack. So here's the hardware that it comes with. And so also I have the upper control arms. I have to get these all set up too. There's a couple things that you have to do. You can't leave these all the way in. Obviously, why would you want to? Because you are doing a angle kit. So the max you can go on this from this point right here, this flat part, to the beginning of the tie rod where the bronze spacer is at, this should be no more than 2.4 inches. So you want to go out pretty much, you know, as far as you can go. For me, I'm going to do probably a 2-inch space 2-inch space on the same here, and then we'll do the other side. So it'll give us plenty of angle, and then we can adjust accordingly a little bit as it's on the car. But I'm gonna start with 2 inches, and then we'll put it up on here and get it started. All right, a little bit about what's in the kit. You can see the smaller cones that come in one of the bags and the bigger ones. The bigger ones will go in here, and it will actually be for the ones on the subframe that go in here. And then the smaller ones will actually go in here, and that's where the strut will bolt to. So that's for these spacers. You obviously have the ones that are a big cone and a flat, and that will go back here onto the one sticking down, but we'll deal with that in a little bit. And then we have these ones for the bump steer and also the other side of the arm, but I'll show it as it goes. So one of the first things you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna take off this little bump steer right here, take these 14s off, and then you'll also disconnect the castle nut and the tie, and then you'll hit it here, and this should be able to fall out, so that way your steering rack is loose. You do want to break this nut before you do anything though, so while it's sitting here like this, break this loose, and then you'll be able to unscrew the outer tie rod. So we're also going to be taking these boot ends off, slide the boot off, and we're going to take off the inner tie rod also, because we do have the new extended inner tie rod that we'll be using. So I'm going to take this off, break this loose, and we'll take this off as well. All right, everything going together smoothly. You can see the Heim joints are straight up and down. I have everything just kind of finger tight on there. It's not all tight yet because there's some other adjustments I have to make, especially with the tie rod. Since the inner tie rod is going to be being replaced, I have to also like figure out how much thread I need to cut off and still have, so it stays maximum amount in this coupling right here. So like I said, everything's kind of loose, but I'm gonna go do the other side the same way. This is kind of just finger tight on here, but you can see the small washer with the collar is towards the bottom, and then it has the cone up top, and this is sitting in there nice and flat, not all cocked off weird and that. So this is 2 inches, and then this one right here is 2 inches. So I'm gonna do the same to the other side, but look at that. It actually has an angle kit on it, suspension, and then we're going to be putting the upper control arms in, and we'll adjust for the rest of it. All right, both sides on. This side is just like the other side. Now I just have to take the inner tie rods off, and we have to start cutting for the new inner tie rods, and then we'll also make sure we put on the spacers for both sides of the steering rack. And then after we have that all set, then it's just tightening it down and making sure everything is tight and ready to go. And then we'll put the upper control arm on and tighten that down as well. All right, so a couple days have passed. I didn't really let you guys know what was going on because I thought I was gonna be able to finish this project, and then the weekend came up and plans came up and stuff I had to take care of came up. So we are still on this. You can see that there is still all the progress where it was left. The only thing that I have done is I painted the factory sway bar. We're gonna be putting that on, but we need to finish up this angle kit. So that's next on the list. We're gonna get this angle kit done, and yeah, we're gonna get this video wrapped up. So I apologize. I know you guys didn't know, but I didn't want it to look weird for you guys to look and see that the video had like changed its pace. It's dark out, what the hell happened? And so yeah, anyway, the weekend came up. I wasn't able to edit the video or finish it. So now it's grind time. So let's get back on it. right, you saw me measure the tie rods. Here are the parts that I cut off. One side will be a little bit longer because we do have that extension on the passenger side, so I had to take off a little bit more so that way it stays in the center. However, trash those. You can see now everything is on, screwed together, lined up. It's eyeballed for the toe on both sides. It may be pointing in a little bit, but once the car settles down on the ground, we put the sway bar on, wheels, adjust the height, all that type of stuff. Then we can make our final measurements when we do the alignment. So we got it close. We have everything on here. I just need to get it tight. Next thing to do will be the sway bar. However, pulling this apart, this bushing broke and it's no good. And since it is 10:45 at night, there's no way we're gonna be able to put this on. So yet again, it's gonna be the next day. Tomorrow I'm gonna get back on this. Sorry y'all, I know it's kind of like a process. It's like jumping around a lot, but I want you guys to see the process all the way through. Once this gets done, then we'll be able to put the brakes on and then the upper control arms. So hang tight, here we come. Okay, and we're back. I just got back from the store. I picked up some new bushings, threw the old ones out. We're gonna be able to put the sway bar on. Give you guys a little recap. You guys can see that all of the tie rods, everything's on, still just finger tight. I need to tighten it all down. But I'm also looking for the brace for the car and the IPDM, both of which who I bought the car from, RX-7 Mike, said he will give me. I just need to go grab them. He's pretty far away from here. And I didn't even let you guys know, I got stuff for the interior. I mentioned in the last video that I was getting my new harnesses. You can see I got black Status harnesses. Shout out to Status Racing for these. And huge big thanks and shout out to NRG. They hooked it up big time with some new seats. Give you guys a little sneak peek of them. I'm not gonna give you any more than that, but just know that another video is coming for interior stuff. I also have, if we walk over here, you can see that I've been messing with the handbrake stuff and the bracket and that. But that's for another video. So let's finish this one first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the bushings out, we're gonna lube them up, put them in the shackles, and then put them on here because we do have the tie rods. God, I can't even think right now. Anyway, these go through here, the end links, the sway bar bushing end links. God, I couldn't remember to save my life. We'll go through here. I'll probably put it through the second or the third one as close to factory. I don't need it on, you know, insane stiff, so I'll just put it in between one of these. Probably the third one, good round number. Yeah, so then we're gonna tighten it up, put a sway bar on, make sure everything's good, and then we're gonna tighten all the bolts up, minus the one on the rear. So let's get going. Look how cool the white looks on the black. Sway bar all on, everything tightened. Tighten these ones. Like I said, I put it in the third hole, right in the center. So everything here is now set up. I'm just gonna tighten up everything now on the angle kit, put in the cotter pins like I need to through the holes here and the one on the bottom there. And so that way all of this is set up. All right, everything tight. Not wobbly, made sure everything's locked down. I have the cotter pins on, everything's tight. I even locked down for the tie rods. I know it's gonna need to be changed, so I just snugged them up, but I wanted to make sure everything here is snug. So last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get the front rotors on, the brake lines and that, so that way I know that the brake stuff is done. And then we're gonna call it for this video. It's like 98 degrees outside right now. It's super hot in here. If I open up the garage, it'll be even worse. So the next video, we're gonna be taking care of the rest of the stuff. I'll be putting the upper control arms on, and then actually we have to take apart the rears because I am doing a dual caliper setup. So we'll be installing the dual caliper stuff, and then like I teased you guys with earlier, the interior stuff, we'll be putting that on. And I've been talking to a couple people, so maybe I'll be picking out some body parts. Maybe the rest of this car is gonna start looking finished. So also, shout out to Society. They're sending me my bash bars. I have a front and rear bash bar that's going on, so we'll put a front one on. We're also gonna put the rear one on underneath the bumper. I think it's got a jack point. I'm super stoked on it. So I'm gonna finish up this, put the brakes on, show you guys what's up, and then we're gonna end this video. So Sorry, I know it's like all over the place, jumbled, like mix matched, and you know, thank you guys for staying through. If you guys made it this far in the video, yeah, it's almost there. But I'm stoked you guys are seeing this whole process from start to finish. This car I'm stoked on. And then when I look at it and here, knowing I got my LSZ, like it's just dreams are coming together. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you for the love, and thank you guys for, like, you know, just keeping on pushing and helping out, and you know, just all the positivity. So we're gonna knock this out and let's get this going. Okay, I know I need to shut up, but one last thing, I wanted to make big shout out to, like, I have some of the coolest neighbors around here. I have some of the coolest people that show up around here. I want to shout out, dude always helping me across the way. His name is Chris, him and his son Jake, just huge, like super supportive, positive people. If you guys saw here, I'll drop this clip right here.
Hell yeah.
It's them helping me push the car up into the garage. It was like 10 o'clock at night. They got out of bed to help me. So shout out to you guys. It means a lot to me that you guys are so supportive, and that you guys got everybody in the neighborhood being supportive. Yeah, and you know, just helping me make my dreams come true. You guys know that this is all I live for. I rock with this day in and day out, and you know, keep the hustle and grind. So to everybody that's supportive, everybody that's you know, wanting me to win, it just means so much to me. So yeah, I love y'all. And the brakes are all on. The whole front of this is looking so mean. I love it. We got new pads, we got new calipers, we got new rotors, we got stainless braided brake lines. One thing I found out, I don't know if you guys see this, I know it's a little dark on camera, but one of these shackles goes perfectly into one of the wheel speed sensor things to hold the brake line. I took my wheel speed sensors out because it is a drift car. I don't need them. It's gonna have a handbrake, so I removed them from the front. So if you guys are removing them, you can see this is a perfect like hold for the brake line, and this will rotate and move around. This will be loose, but I'm actually gonna take this one and put it on the collar that actually goes on the strut. So that way it's not flopping around, moving, getting hit by the tire or anything like that. But looks really good. Front's all done. All right, I'm giving you a step back. One more run through over the car, seeing everything that's done, all the progress we've made. I'm stoked on it. I think that's gonna be it for today. It's like super hot in here. I don't know how long this video is. It's been all over the place. It's been a course of a couple days. And so I wanna break it up so that way you guys can stay at full attention of it. You guys can see what's going on and break it up into parts. That way you guys have more videos to watch. So that's it. We're gonna call it for today. I'm gonna go in, cool off, get something to eat, and edit this video so you guys can enjoy this tomorrow. Well, you guys are watching it today, so you guys are enjoying it today. Anyway, as I said earlier, thanks so much for the support. Thank you guys for rocking with me and staying through the whole videos, watching, asking questions, DMing, all that. It means so much to me, as I always tell you guys, but I just want to make sure I reiterate it to you. So anyway, I hope you guys had a good weekend. I hope you guys are staying cool, and I guess we'll get back on this tomorrow. Another video, another time, more fun, and then the real fun will come when we start driving it. So anyway, take care of your family, much love, peace.